Hey guys, Kim here, and you are tuned back into Kim E, the Diabetes MP, a place where nurse practitioners can improve their diabetes education and management skills. Today, we are going to talk about goal setting and goal setting as nurse practitioners. We're going to dive a little bit into SMART goals, and I'm going to explain that to you all for those who don't know what a SMART goal is. And if you are interested in learning how to goal set for your practice and for your clinic, stay tuned. We're going to get into it. So let's talk about the importance of goal setting as a provider. Now, I know that we're all doing some form of that. That's what we get our individual plan of care from. At the end of our visits with our patients, we go over and we tell them what we're expecting to do, what our interventions are going to be. And even in our charting, we're probably charting the plan that we have for them in the future. Now, I'm not really talking about that type of goal setting. I'm talking about more of a global view of our patients as a whole. Sitting down and really taking time to have a workable action plan for our patients. We're at the top of the year. We're in 2020 now. We're in a new year. We're in a new decade, guys. And we all want to bring the best possible care to our patients. And so really thinking about your slate of patients, think about your demographic of your patients and what are some areas that you would like to improve as a whole for your clinic. Now, one of my favorite quotes is, "Small tweaks lead to huge peaks." Now, in a nutshell, what that means is small changes can lead to massive results, okay? So what you need to be thinking about is like a step-by-step process. Break it down into like small digestible things that you can do to really change the trajectory of all of your patients. Think about what those things are and what little small steps that you can implement in your practice with all of your patients. Now, something else to keep in mind is that your approach should really be collaborative. Collaborative with your patients, okay? And not authoritative. You don't want to be telling them what to do. This is what you must do. You want them to buy into this. You want them to participate in their care. And ultimately what this is going to do, it's going to bring better outcomes and it's going to help you manage your patients a lot better. You're literally taking that burden off of your shoulders and you're sharing that burden. And the majority of it is going to be carried by the patients. Goal setting in collaboration with your patients is a win for everyone. So let's dive into what SMART goals are for the provider, the nurse practitioner. Now, SMART goals is just a common way that many people in many different industries set goals that are measurable. And it's a way that you can set a measurable goal, but then add in interventions of how you're going to be able to achieve that goal. The word SMART is actually an acronym, okay? So the S stands for specific. We're talking about making your goal clear and specific to you. The who, the what, the why. That's what it means by specific. Measurable is for M. Now, you want to be able to measure your goal. That's the way that you're able to know if the goal is achieved or not. So we're going to talk about how many, okay? How much of this that we need to do to achieve the goal. Now, the A stands for achievable. And it could also mean attainable as well. So you want to think about, is this something that I can obtain? Okay, is this something that is achievable for my practice? The R stands for relevant. So is this goal realistic? Is it relatable? Is it relevant to what I am doing? And lastly, the T stands for time bound or time sensitive. You want to give a time limit on your goal. You don't want this goal to just go on forever. So saying that you want this goal to be achieved by this time, that gives it a time limit. So let me give you an example. You all know that I'm the Diabetes MP and I love taking care of those that have diabetes. So a goal that I could set for my patients would be all of my diabetic patients within 6 months will have a reduction of their hemoglobin A1C. Now, let's break that down. The S, specific. I am talking about specifically all of my diabetic patients in my practice. It's very clear. I'm talking about who I want this goal to be pertaining to. It's very specific. M for measurable. It is measurable because I am saying that I want a reduction of 1% of the A1C. That is something that I can definitely look to see that everyone's A1Cs have reduced by 1%. If they're at a 7, they've gone down to a 6. If they're at 6.5, they're gone down to a 5.5. I can clearly be able to measure if that reduction by 1% has been achieved or not. A, achievable. Now, how you can say if this is achievable or not is if this is something that is actually doable for my patients. Going down from an 11 to a 5 may not be something that's achievable within a 6-month period. Maybe for some people, I don't know. I've never had that done. But saying that I'm going down from a 7 to a 6, a 1% reduction is definitely something that is achievable for all of my diabetic patients in my practice. R for relevant. Is this something that is relevant to them? Is this something that is realistic? Yes, I would say that it is realistic to go down by just 1%, which would do the world of difference by them. But going down by 1% is very realistic. And time bound, that's the T. I put a time limit of 6 months. In a 6-month period, I would like to see all of my diabetic patients, their A1C go down by 1%. That is something that some people may achieve before the 6 months. They may do it in 2, maybe 3 months, but some of them would maybe have to take the full 6 months. Now, lastly, once you have set this SMART goal, you want to start adding in interventions on how you're going to be able to achieve this goal, putting in the steps of how this goal can get achieved. So this could be making sure that people are having consistent follow-up, that they're coming in every time, every 3 months and getting their labs checked, that you're making sure that you're referring them to the appropriate disciplines, whether that be going to a nutritionist and having a meal plan set up for them, making sure that you're following up and being very active in their care, touching base with them. Maybe it's having them take their blood sugars at home regularly and reporting those back to you over the phone maybe once a month. Those are what your different interventions can be to make sure that this goal can be achieved within 6 months. And again, though you're making this SMART goal for all of your diabetic patients, we know that some of our patients may have to have different interventions than others. Some of them may have the same interventions, but some of them you may have to change based on that person and their tendencies. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. I hope this video was helpful and really explained what SMART goals are. And if you did not know what they were, I hope that you understand them a lot better. And if you do know what they are, I hope this is something that you would consider using in your own practice. If you are interested in learning how to set goals and help your patients set goals for themselves, in the next video, I am going to go over helping your patients goal set themselves and how you can assist them. Also, in the description box, I put together a little PDF of a chart explaining what SMART goals are and a blank grid for you to be able to fill goals out for yourself and to help your patients fill them out for themselves as well. Again, you have been listening to Kim E, the Diabetes MP, and I'll catch you on the next video.